Podquest.
No, they're like full 60-card Magic the Gathering decks, just tiny. It's the world's smallest Magic the Gathering cards.
Excuse me?
But we're not here to talk about that. Corey, good news.
Okay, I could use some, certainly.
We've got a very nice voice message from our man in Outworld, Paul.
Ooh. What missives could be coming from out yonder? Is that anything? I don't know.
That's something. You ready to take a listen to this bad boy?
As soon as you send it to me, absolutely.
Well, I'm going to play it through the soundboard.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. I forgot that we could do that.
We have I have expensive equipment.
We have the technology.
All right, so
Good start. Awesome.
Sorry, it's been a while since I've done one of these. In the most recent episode, you were talking about old mate Brian Rath Clark, and there was some throwaway comment you made about how he probably tag teamed with people in his wrestling days. And it's funny because his story actually, or the story of his character, is weirdly tied to Mortal Kombat. So way back in, I want to say 98, or no, actually it was prior to 98. It probably would have been late 96, maybe early mid 97.
So we're not sure if I was there.
The guy who was in charge of WCW wanted to, off the success of Mortal Kombat, and specifically the Mortal Kombat movie as well, wanted to basically bring a whole bunch of like martial arts related wrestlers in and give them kind of like Mortal Kombat themed gimmicks and sort of personalities. And the one that they led with was this wrestler called Glacier. And he got a whole bunch of, like, for literal months, you would just see on, like, you know, the TV screen for the live crowd, there would be, like, these blue flashing lights, and it would say, like, a blood runs cold, Glacier coming soon. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, if it was something to do with his availability, or his training, or whatever it was, or they just kept getting pushed back. But this guy, when he did show up, he basically just looked like a budget Mortal Kombat 3 version of Sub-Zero. Alright, he was this dude, he wasn't like the most well-built guy in the world, but he knew martial arts and he kind of looked cool and he had a really cool entrance with like lasers and stuff and like snow falling in the ring. But he was basically like Sub-Zero. And the whole thing with him was his opponents that they gave, they also wanted to be Mortal Kombat themed. And the two main guys they introduced to put against him was a dude called Mortis, who was like a green skeleton guy, and a guy called Wrath. And Wrath was our man, Brian Rath Clark. And as you can hear by his very ponderous intro theme, he was the dude who was like the bad guy in this situation, and he would come and he would just like look impressive and big and then like lose to Glacier. But his whole deal was, yeah, like to be like a Mortal Kombat thing. Yes, it sort of goes places. The weird thing was, though, that Mortal Kombat was kind of on the downturn because Annihilation was what it was, and then the sort of initial reaction to MK4 wasn't particularly positive. So by the time all these Mortal Kombat themed guys came into the wrestling show, this was WCW, by the way, all the sort of, you know, the fan interest in it was kind of dulled. And at the same time as they were doing all that stuff, they were also doing the whole NWO thing, which was, you know, hey, let's treat everything super realistically and give, you know, make everyone use their real names. And it was going to be this hyper-realized version of it, which kind of completely went against the whole stylized Mortal Kombat approach. He suffered an injury after some time, Mr. Wrath, and recuperated. And when he came back, all the blood runs cold, Mortal Kombat stuff, they kind of dropped it. They just brought him back as Brian Clark and teamed him with someone called Brian Adams. And the two Brians formed a team called Chronic. Chronic spelt with a K and also ending in a K. So Kronik. Yeah. And so these guys had a weirdly, like, very vaguely marijuana-based gimmick. But they would just come out and they were just big burly dudes and they would just fight people. And eventually, WCW went out of business and they kind of faded into obscurity, and that was kind of that. So, weirdly, Brian Clark was like super entwined with the concept of Mortal Kombat even before, Conquest happened. And I haven't really looked at the dates in terms of like when he was on Conquest, but I'm sure that this was all happening around the same time. So him being involved with Mortal Kombat was absolutely not a coincidence.
There you go, man. A little history
What
on
a sudden ending.
Brian Rath Clark. Well, you know those Australians. They're known for their directness. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they must be.
So I sent Corey a picture of Glacier.
Boy, did you. That's just cosplay. That's like just, very blatant and very transparent. Sorry, I'm getting a little choked up just at the image.
We got a theme on this episode because that's going to happen to me later too.
No. This is his.
So this is his full costume.
No.
Glacier's full costume.
No, it's not. You're lying. No, it fucking isn't. There is no fucking chance. Half of that looks like medieval armor.
Sure.
He's got a Shao Kahn-ish helmet. The text of his name is absolutely unreadable. I hate this a lot. I don't condone this at all. Thumbs down. Nope, I'm seeing the other side of his body now. This is just your dad. This is anyone's dad dressed as...
If only.
Yeah, you know what? It's not doing a lot for me. This is maybe a little bit too far. Like, we've gotten through the looking glass, I guess.
This is absolutely... Like, I've heard about the attempts to capitalize on the popularity of Mortal Kombat in
Should have
pro
thought
wrestling.
twice.
It's well documented here that I am not a wrestling guy. Not for lack, I'm not a hater. It didn't click for me. Sending you a Brian Rath Clark.
Yeah, he's just the guy. This is fine.
He's just a ripped dude.
He's just got a big mustache.
Yeah.
Like long, I guess is more accurate.
Captain Hookish? No, not really. His goes up. Brian's goes down, right?
Yeah, it's a sort of a frown for the scowl that a wrestler would have.
Holy shit! Here we go. Here's some.
I for one love a visual gag.
Here's some
is that him?
Intense Brian Clark.
Yeah, this is hardcore. This I'm all see. Here's the thing. Because this is just they came up with some shit, I'm fine with it. But because the other thing was like Glacier is definitely not quote unquote Sub-Zero, I'm like, no. But this works fine. This looks like he's from the new Game of Thrones show.
Maybe maybe he's in it. I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Man, this is really getting to my emotions. I'm getting really.
We got a real life Game of Thrones going on with the death of the Queen, so maybe
somebody had to say it.
And I'm proud to be the 100,000th person to have said that.
But not on this podcast. Here you're the first or second.
Paul, thank you for the history of Brian Rath Clark.
Welcome back. You'll have to do it live sometime.
We missed you, buddy. I felt like that was a good segue into what we are going to talk about today, Corey, which is another sort of produced combat television series with serialized storytelling. Apparently, a little gem from the 90s called WMAC Masters. This is a WMAC Masters podcast. Today, we are the WMAC Casters. Now, before everyone turns off their podcast, if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, like a 90s Mortal Kombat fan, or a current day fan of 90s Mortal Kombat style shit, and you have not seen WMAC Masters, you fucking need to. Stay tuned.
Well,
you got to hear some of this shit. No, you got to hear. No, Corey, no. You got to hear. You got to see some of this shit.
Okay.
What were you going to say? I
think have to is a strong word.
We got to hear about it.
I don't think you have to see it. You should listen to us talk about it, but I don't know if I would say stop what you're doing, leave the Queen's funeral, go watch WMAC Masters. I don't know if I'd go that far.
Certainly leave the Queen's funeral.
Yeah, but just maybe not specifically for WMAC Masters, maybe for a variety of other reasons.
But like with smartphone technology and all of the WMAC Masters episodes being on YouTube, you could watch them anywhere, including at the Queen's funeral. So
Harry? Will you be our Dragon Star?
What would your Corey? What would your WMAC Masters name be?
Oh fuck! I should have thought of it. Of course, you were gonna ask that.
I didn't think I was gonna until just now.
Seems like such an obvious thing to have thought about already. I don't know. Star anything is taken, so that's kind of out.
A lot of stars. There's like a Star Man,
Star
there's
Warrior,
a
and
Superstar. Yeah. You could be Star Crash, right?
I could
You
be Crash, directed by
be
David Cronenberg.
You could be Starlight. Well, that's the character from The Boys, but also the Coke. I was thinking more of the Coca-Cola Starlight.
I've never seen The Boys, so it's fine. Can I just co-opt Vorpax's name?
You probably. I mean, if WCW is just stealing Mortal Kombat
Intellectual
shit,
property left and right.
like you might as well. Although you might rub a couple of the WMAC Masters wrong by doing that. You know,
Yeah.
a few people in this are very tied to Mortal Kombat.
Well, what's yours? That's not stealing.
Full Throttle.
Full Throttle?
Yeah, Full Throttle.
Why Full Throttle?
Because my background story, get to know the Dragon Warriors or whatever, right?
Sure.
Would be my crippling addiction to Full Throttle energy drink in college and how I overcame that. And so now I use that name because I don't need Full Throttle to go Full Throttle.
Damn you.
Right?
See, you can't say you weren't going to ask me about this if you had such a well thought out answer. I didn't come up with shit.
That was 100% off the dome.
Fuck, that was really good. God damn it. By the end of the episode, I'll think of a better answer. That's a promise.
Okay. No worries. Yeah, man, we're talking about WMAC Masters. So, Corey, do we want to do like classic Corey Corner and you can just tell people what this fucking show's all about? Or is that too much pressure?
No, I think I could probably manage.
I know you got a lot going on.
I could probably manage.
All right, let's do a Corey Corner, man. It's been a minute.
Welcome to the Corey Corner. So I feel compelled to start with the fact that WMAC stands for World Martial Arts Council, and it is fake.
Yes. It is 100% made up for the show.
The World Martial Arts Council isn't it's real in that it exists, but don't worry that you missed the existence of like something akin to like the UFC of singular martial arts rather than mixed or something like that. The World Martial Arts Council is the creation of Universal Studios Florida.
Hell yeah, it is, dude.
This is a show that I earnestly believe is best directly compared to Medieval Times. And
Medieval Times, what's that?
Like Dinner and Tournament.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've been there.
I think it is best compared to that or like a theme park attraction that happens to be televised. So there are a variety of contestants at the World Martial Arts Council headquarters at Universal Studios Florida, and they are competing to become the Dragon Star champion. And to do that, you have to, in a way, win 10 Mortal Kombat tournaments in a row. More precisely, what you need to do is you have something called a Dragon Belt.
Sure.
You have to get 10 other people's symbols, their key symbols, on your Dragon Belt. And then to do that, you can challenge whoever the champion is. In our case, it was a guy whose name was Turbo. Which I think was one of the American Gladiators, so that might have also just been stealing. But
sure, surely it was.
All of that is to say, so Shannon Lee, Brian Maldonado, Brian Bernardo. Yeah. So
Michael Bernardo.
Whatever. Everything's fine. So Shannon Lee is there.
Mm-hmm. Who's Shannon Lee?
I don't actually precisely know, so I was just going to say that, and everybody was going to nod in agreement.
Oh, she's the daughter of Bruce Lee.
I didn't know if it was. I didn't know what the relationship was. She is our narrator host, and essentially what happens is two people are paired up. A variety of martial arts stars, be them people from Mortal Kombat Conquest or Olympic gold medalists or two guys that are related, and they have to get sent to a battle zone. And that is a fancy way of them saying a theme park amusement set they're not currently using. And when they go there, they'll fight ninjas and then each other. And there are power bars on the side of the screen like a video game. And those will go down. And if your power bar goes all the way down, they explode your symbol in the Battle Dome arena. And then you lose. And then if you lose, you don't get to go into the Battle Dome arena cage.
The cage match.
If you get to go into the cage match against somebody else who won recently, you have 2 minutes and the threat of constant ninjas to fight each other and kick or punch each other into the sides of the cage which are electrically charged,
Sure.
allegedly.
But just to score points, I don't think to like hurt.
No, and you
people.
just need to get the most points.
It's
And if you
it's not like a dead or alive situation.
if you get the most points, you win their key symbol. You put it on your belt. You're one step closer to the Dragon Star. Two other things worth noting. One, there is a women's competition. They don't care.
In these, sure. In these early episodes, we don't see much of that. I think you do see more later on.
They vaguely allude to it, but it is given nowhere near the pomp nor circumstance. And there is a narrative element to this.
Yes.
In that, so backstage in the training room, all the fighters are just sort of hanging out. And they'll end up telling each other stories, like how the Machine became known as the Machine because he wanted to kick a guy's ass too hard. And it's essentially both narrativizing and like creating characters out of people who are essentially behaving as themselves. And it's to teach kids lessons because this is clearly for kids.
TVY7 rated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
once you get 10 key symbols on your dragon belt, what do you get to do?
Oh, you have to fight Turbo on the spinning stage.
Or whoever is champion, Dragon Star champion at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a fun thing. That's like a spinning pit ring where if you get knocked out of it, you're out, but there's like rings you can grab onto.
And the threat of constant ninjas.
And then but if you leave the thing but don't fall, they like put a ninja in the ring, right? And you gotta contest with a ninja as well as whoever you're fighting. It's fucking sick as hell. I'm just gonna say it. Like, yeah. Do you want to go over to the Neil Nook?
Sure.
Welcome to the Neil Nook.
It's Gucci.
It is Gucci. Why do we as Mortal Kombat fans care about WMAC Masters? Aside from the entire setup just being a fucking fighting game, like with the
very
stages,
directly,
the stages and the health bar or the power bar and everything like that. I'm going to drop 3 names here, Corey.
Okay.
All of these are important to Mortal Kombat fans. We're going to start with Hakim the Machine Alston. This man played the, I believe he's credited as the fighter monk. It's the staff fighter that Liu Kang fights in the first Mortal Kombat movie.
Okay.
Hakim Alston was in Mortal Kombat 1995 as just one of the fighters. All right. Another name that's huge for Mortal Kombat fans, Ho Sung Pak, who did the motion capture and like is the digital actor for Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 1 and 2.
You'll know the hair anywhere.
And also Old Man Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat 1. And finally, Chris Cassamassa.
Who at this point really needs no introduction at all for listeners of this particular program.
This our Scorpion, right? Threshold Entertainment's Scorpion.
And Takeda and like 4 other guys.
Chris Cassamassa is Conquest Scorpion. He's Mortal Kombat 95 Scorpion. He is in this. They are all in this as themselves. Okay.
Yeah, I'll admit I did absolutely lose my shit when Shannon Lee just said, and Chris Cassamassa is here. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Representing his Red Dragon Dojo, which I believe is the name of his actual martial arts studio, Red Dragon.
I knew he'd be in it, but I thought there was going to be some degree of abstraction
of character names or something.
And there just isn't.
No, they gave him their real name. I like this because they're celebrating like the actual. These are all like actual professional martial artists, right? So like, I like that they get to represent themselves. You know. There's a lot of characters in this. I don't think I'm going to hit everybody, but I will say that Ho Sung Pak's older brother, Ho Young Pak, is also in this as Star Warrior. I think we briefly saw Richard Brandon as Yin Yang Man.
We did see Yin Yang Man because he did a special demonstration with the turbo sticks. Didn't
he? Yes, he did. Yeah. Jamie Webster, his nickname is Great Wolf. Herb Perez as Olympus. Now, in the episodes that we watched the first 3, we do see Olympus, Herb Perez, take on Turbo and become the new Dragon Star champion. That was a very special 3rd episode of this. I like that we got like a nice complete arc.
Also, former mayor of Foster City, California, Herb Perez.
Genuine former 1992 Olympic gold medalist. Well,
he's still the 1992 Olympic gold medalist.
Well, yeah, I guess he still is.
He didn't stop being that.
Sure, I guess once you have it, you are it forever.
Taekwondo Life magazine called Herb Perez a modern Renaissance man.
Hell yeah.
Also, former vice mayor of Foster City, California.
Yes. Also, we don't really see any of the women's competition in these three. I guess we see a little bit in that third episode. I forget who we saw. It was their names were like Mouse,
Baby Doll, and Mouse.
Baby Doll or some shit.
That is correct.
That was kind of wild because
I remember that
like,
Mouse's first name was Michelle, but unfortunately, I do not remember her last name.
Yeah,
I did not write down the last name.
I'm not seeing it listed here, unfortunately. But we didn't see Chameleon. This was Sophia Crawford's character. Sophia Crawford is important to a lot of people for being Sarah Michelle Gellar's stunt double in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Of course.
Just want to put that out there. Also, a ton of these people were on like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, right?
Sure.
And Ho Sung Pak was Raphael in Ninja Turtles 2 and 3, like in the suit doing the martial arts and stuff. These are all martial artists, stunt performers, actors, like
guys
legit,
being dudes.
Yeah, and ladies being dudes also, right? And then of course we've got Shannon Lee hosting it all. Here's a quote from Shannon Lee's IMDb.
Okay.
I am definitely the lazy one in my family. I used to ask my mom if dad ever vegged out on the couch watching TV or anything. She said no, that both he and Brandon were far more active.
Well, somebody had to host WMAC Masters, though.
Right? This is not an easy job, dude.
It's also worth clarifying one thing.
Sure, that's it for the Neil Nook.
So this show has baked in lore.
Yes, it does.
That seems fairly extensive, as if the WMAC Masters Dragon Star tournament has been going on for many years.
Decades, right.
Like, this is a known quantity, extreme, popular, physical showcase in sport.
Sure.
This is not we enter it in media res.
Yeah,
they're not acting as if this is anything other than everybody knows about WMAC Masters.
Right. They do. I mean, they get you caught up during the fights and stuff. They tell you what's going on. But yeah, you've already got Olympus has 9 key symbols on his belt and Chris Cassamassa has 8 or something like that.
And Turbo just exists already.
And Turbo's been reigning champion for a long time. He's defended his title twice, they tell us. So it's like they just decided to start filming it one day, but it's been going on in the seedy underbelly of Universal Studios for decades.
Yeah, it was. That's where they got the idea for Fight Club. Is that a Universal movie?
I don't know.
It is now.
Nice. Whatever.
If it wasn't, it is.
So, Corey, you had never heard of this show before.
Not before the podcast.
Like a year and a half ago or something.
Yeah.
Right? I watched this show when it was on. I definitely watched...
As a younger man?
As a young boy in 1995.
That's a younger man still.
I watched this. I watched this show. This show was off... What year were you born again?
97.
This show was off the air before you were born, dude. And I was watching it. I definitely remember seeing these early season 1 episodes, and I remember really fucking being into this show when it was on. A little bit about me and my childhood. The stuff that was popular back then was Power Rangers and VR Troopers and those sort of Sentai shows that were getting translated and sort of reshot for American audiences by Saban, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't into those as a kid. Me and my friends were the sort of early Doom generation, I'd call us, as in the video game Doom.
Right, and also maybe the existential dread Doom.
Sure, that too. So we were too cool for school when it came to Power Rangers and stuff because we were into blood and guts movies and video games like Mortal Kombat. But this show for some reason hit the sweet spot for me. Because, I was vaguely aware of wrestling. It wasn't clicking for me, right? But I knew Mortal Kombat and I knew fighting games. And this was just, the right balance of this seemed cooler than Power Rangers to me. It felt a little bit more grown up, I guess. But it also wasn't as weird and sweaty as pro wrestling was.
It is trying to thread a needle, I think.
Yeah, so I was the target demo to latch onto this thing, and that's not to say I was a diehard fan. I wasn't buying action figures and stuff because apparently there were action figures.
God, what I wouldn't give for a Chris Cassamassa action figure.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Jesus Christ.
Technically, I think I have one because it would be the Mortal Kombat 95 Scorpion.
Yeah, but I mean,
figure.
I want the card on it to just say Chris Cassamassa.
Let's see if that exists.
Jesus.
I'm gonna search for Red Dragon action figure because
Yeah, that'll narrow it
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
How much? How much?
Yeah. Hold on. All right. This isn't. I gotta search eBay. This is just a general search. 1996 Bandai figure. Image incoming. Jesus Christ. That's nope. Almost sent that to Paul by accident.
So the problem if you go to eBay, no fucking way. Oh my god. Two-hand sword swing action. He's not even holding swords in the picture of him.
These are Bandai. Yeah. These are Bandai figures, dude. You got to be able to get these on eBay.
So here's the problem.
Uh-huh.
If you search Red Dragon WMAC Masters action figure,
yeah,
nothing.
If you search WMAC Masters action figure.
Wait. I have found 2 different figures of Tsunami. I have found Great Wolf.
Yeah, I see Olympus.
Hold on.
I see Superstar.
This is doable. I think this is doable. Okay, I found a Tsunami in a plastic bag with none of the actual packaging. Olympus, the Machine. Oh my god, we are so close.
So fucking close, dude.
Oh shit. Fuck. God, that dude. I found Turbo.
Well, I'll tell you what you won't find.
Fuck.
You won't find Superstar because I just bought him.
The shipping is so high, but I kind of want to buy one too. This figure isn't even. This figure is missing a foot, so it won't be that one. God.
Holy fuck. All right. Anyway, I did not buy these as a child. Here's a Superstar. Here's a Superstar for $10 or best offer plus shipping. The one I got came with the sword, though. This one doesn't come with the sword.
Dude, why is the shipping so high?
Where were we?
The shipping is more than the guy.
Man, where's it shipping from? I don't know.
Indiana.
Hakim the Machine Alston, incomplete.
That one's missing a foot.
Yeah. This can't be the whole shit. We got to get back.
Why does Olympus have a big switch on his back, like a light switch?
Probably for swinging his...
Sword swinging action?
Swords, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, what were we talking about?
Oh, I wasn't like buying the action figures and stuff like that as a kid. Apparently I'm doing that as an adult. But I loved this show. This show worked for me. Like it just tapped into like that. The martial arts, the Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Double Dragon like phase that we were all in at that time. And I think it threaded the needle between Power Ranger stuff and pro wrestling stuff and fighting game stuff in a pretty impressive way. Ultimately, I had a ton of fun watching these. Like, I don't think that this is like the kind of thing that you need to like really, really focus in and pay attention to. But I do think it's a fun YouTube playlist to put on in the background while you're doing other stuff, and like you're gonna enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I also think maybe the mistake I made was watching it too closely.
Yeah. Because there's not a lot there if you get too close. I don't think it's meant to be watched that way. Like, this is meant to be watched with a bowl of cereal, you know?
Yeah, because...
One episode at a time with a bowl of cereal.
Are we giving, like, overall assessments now? Are we doing it? Is this what's happening?
I think so. I think we should. There's a few highlights and stuff I want to kind of talk about. Highlights is a strong word. Conceptually,
I think it's hilarious. And I think the execution in some parts is funny.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, especially when you consider that it's supposed to be for kids. Oh my god, it's boring. Oh my god.
Really?
Oh my god. That doesn't mean there wasn't stuff that I thought was cool, and the fact that it's all like a battle zone, the Stone Valley battle zone, like that's funny. But the martial arts themselves feel very slow and maybe like a little over choreographed.
I kind of feel differently than you about that. Like, I was watching, I don't know if I can say this for every single fight, and like some of them, like there's that one scene where Tsunami is fighting in the ghost town, and like he runs into the saloon and the two ninjas running after him, and then they each bust out a separate window and he walks right out. Clearly, like, that was cheesy and obviously staged. But like the parts where the martial artists are having their choreographed fights with each other, the one-on-one stuff, I thought that was all really well done. And I liked that the camera, it wasn't like cutting around and doing high angles and low angles. It was just like one camera pointed at them. I thought it was pretty impressive choreography ultimately. Like those fights were like long in single take.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not like impressive, but like just me watching it, I was just like, and then I found that in an attempt to make it feel like more kinetic, there was a lot of like ninjas or whoever passing like in front of the screen.
Kabuki warriors.
Yeah, and I found it
first episode.
I found that kind of distracting more than like immersing.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think that's fair. I think that they did put that stuff in to try to like jazz up the fights. It's an interesting idea of two warriors go into this fighting ring and they have to fight a bunch of ninjas that's going to like end up handicapping them before they get to the one-on-one fight. That's kind of fun, but it is just kind of there to put in more kicks and flips and stuff, right? To try to make the fights seem a little bit more exciting.
Of course.
But also, I love it. Like I don't have a complaint about it personally. The thing that I kind of have a complaint about is some of the like the morality lessons.
Oh my God. Especially the third episode one. That was an absolute slog.
About Olympus going to the high school and
yeah, holy shit. And also I hear they're talking about his Olympic gold medal and they have like a dollar store ass fucking gold medal. Like he didn't even bring it with him.
Couldn't bring the real one in. Maybe he doesn't have it anymore. Maybe he is a former
like Kurt Angle.
I don't know that story. Do you want to tell me?
He won an Olympic medal and then didn't have it anymore. I forget if he sold it or he lost it or something, but
oh, bummer. What are you doing, Kurt? Yeah, some of those things are kind of a slog. Like the first one with Hakim the Machine Alston. First, I love when they're like, "Hey, hey, we've been in this competition for like a decade, clearly, because this guy's defended his title 7 times. But this is the first episode, so why do they call you the Machine? Is it because it rhymes with Hakim? Like that doesn't rhyme with Hakim. That rhymes with Hakim in the way that Eminem rhymes things.
It's a partial rhyme.
It's an extremely partial rhyme.
Right, but people rhyme stuff all the time that just sounds good rather than actually rhyming.
But if he was going for he would be Hakim the Dream Alston, right? Like that would be the actual rhyming nickname.
Right. That his name was Hakim Elijah Austin.
But the Machine is a bad rhyme. But like his story of why he's called the Machine, because he got too angry in a sparring match and got fucked up by a guy, like broke his arm and leg or something, and then had to recover and had to put mental armor around his emotions. It was like, I don't know that that's a good. Like, are you telling kids to like bottle up their feelings?
Yeah,
is that what's going on here, buddy?
Well, because they sort of frame it like compartmentalizing, which can be useful in certain scenarios.
Sure.
But you are opening the door to just being like, just don't feel anything ever
again.
Be
a machine. Just be a machine. Be an unfeeling robot man.
Yeah.
With clunky ass battle armor that you have to take off before a fight. So why are you even wearing it, dude?
Yeah, it's got a cool look.
It's kind of fucking wild. And then, yeah, I don't know, the backstage stuff. Then the silly, like, Ho-Sung Pak and his brother, like...
That fight was fun, though, when they had him do the drunken master thing and pretend to be the dude who was just outside. I enjoyed that.
That felt like that was a good bit, I guess. Wild for them to... He's, like, playing the bum and he's, like, belching and, like, acting drunk.
They went full Bo Raicho.
This is a children's television show.
Yeah.
It's like they were playing off being drunk for laughs. It was kind of weird. But that was maybe the most interesting of all of them.
The most enjoyable one. And also, like, the dude, like, so, he was on, like, a movie set, right?
Yeah, he was on a movie set.
His problem was that he was doing too many moves that weren't in the script. And first of all,
he's basically Johnny Cage.
First of all, the way they shoot the director and him in that very, very tight close-up back and forth, just like yelling at each other with a microphone. Very funny. But the fact that the guy starring opposite him in this movie ran, what did they say? Like a group of local tough guys or something?
Something like that. Yeah,
and I'm just like...
To fuck up the star of the movie.
A tough guy gang. It was a tough guy gang. And then they like gang up on him with the intent to, like, I don't know, like beat his ass because he's kicking too hard in the movie, and they just cover him with a sheet, and it's like, oh no, a sheet, like how's he gonna get out of that one? Like they hadn't really restrained him or anything. Like
his older brother saves him, man.
Yeah, no, I loved that. Family. I thought that was like
brothers in arms, right?
Like my thing is like there's stuff in this that's funny, right?
Sure.
Like the decisions that they're making are hilarious, and the fact that they just have like very stilted, we're not really actors conversations backstage,
right?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Because, you know, not all of them sound the same level of comfortable delivering dialogue.
That's pretty clear.
But then I don't know. I just feel like that sort of like fun energy didn't always translate into the actual fighting for me.
Yeah, I get that. I think
And there's certainly not enough to the other part other than just like it's amusing and weird to like make me be like, yeah, I'll keep watching this.
that's fine. I think if you were 7, you might feel differently.
Of course.
You know, like, let's be clear. I think as a curiosity is like a thing, a piece of nostalgia of a certain time. Like, I think this, if you're someone like me who enjoys revisiting those things, I think this is worth looking at. I think the first episode in particular is maybe the most Mortal Kombat-y of all of it, specifically because we get a bunch of Mortal Kombat actors fighting against each other in that one.
Right.
Like the cage match it was the second match was Chris Cassamassa versus Ho Sung Pak, right? So it's Scorpion versus Liu Kang. And that was like very fun just to see, right? Because it's like also two different worlds of Mortal Kombat. It's Threshold Entertainment and then it's video game.
Was that the fight with the saloon?
That was no, because I thought that was a tsunami thing.
Oh,
I thought
it
that
was
the second episode. Yeah.
But anyway,
the ghost
so
town
these
this was like the doomed city or something,
right, which they use 3 times.
Because it rules, dude. It's a rad set. I would love to like take a walk through that set.
Dude, there's something so funny.
All the foam on that set, dude.
Oh my god! But also, if I can jump ahead to the Wild West set,
yeah,
they're doing
please.
Straight up like theme park live show physical comedy because
stunt show gimmicks.
They're doing stunt show gimmicks. Like he like 3 of them run through the swinging saloon doors, and then the 2 ninjas get booted out of the window.
Yeah, I know. It's classic. It's silly.
Just shit like that.
I imagine inside we didn't get to see it, but like one of them got like slammed face down on the bar and then slid across it.
Yeah.
Right? Another guy got like, we didn't see it, but like got dunked in like a watering trough for horses. These are classic Western fight references that are being met with silence.
For me?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you were just saying words. I gotta let you talk.
I love the sets. Like, you know me. I love a set. I want to go hang out in
the sets are awesome, and I do love that it's just like, this is just backlot stuff they weren't using.
Yeah, totally.
So they're like, we could set up some pyro in there.
But the story is like, once you leave the Battle Dome Arena, you go through underground tunnels.
Yeah, also, what the fuck? Why do they have something called the Battle Dome Arena, and then you have to go to a separate battle zone? And it's just like, you've made this very
the Battle Dome Arenas.
I know.
That's the championship match, man. It is electrifying. That is correct, man. It is shocking fights in there. Hey, yo. I'm not afraid to press buttons because I have no idea what soundboard.
I'm afraid to press charges about this comedy.
I don't know, man. I loved all the sets. It works on me. I just like want to hang out in those places.
I do like the sets. There's stuff that I like, but like I don't know if I could earnestly be like, hey, people should go watch this, right?
Except, sure, but I'm going to say, hey, people should go watch this. I'm going to take that line. I think this is worth watching. This is worth seeing for yourself. This is worth witnessing, in my opinion.
All of it?
Not all of it, no. I want to talk a little bit about what the show becomes, though, because this had 2 seasons, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to spoil a little bit of this for you, Corey, since I don't think you'll be watching any more of it. When we get to the 13th episode of the first season, the final episode, I believe, I think that it is Superstar, Ho Sung Pak, right? And I want to say it's Hakim Alston, the Machine. Anyway, they're in a match for the Dragon Star, right? And during their Dragon Star match, one of the ninjas knocks both of them out of the ring at the same time.
Oh.
But a ninja can't be Dragon Star champion, right? So, like,
for some
they don't
reason.
know what to do. They came up with, like, some weird, interesting, like, for the season 1-2 premiere, like, some weird, interesting, like, tiebreaker thing involving, like, an obstacle course or some shit.
Yeah.
But the big thing that season 2 introduced was heels.
I'm sorry?
Bad guys.
Oh, no. I thought you meant like you could get your power bar back. You mean like
guys.
wrestling heels.
Yeah. So let me find this. Okay. So there is in season 2 a season-long storyline that I think pops up every now and then where there are some new challengers, Warlock and Tracer and somebody new. Where's their name? It's maybe Tracer is this person. Someone named Tracy Sweedum. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And they are part of this martial arts cult that was banned from the WMAC Masters for being too violent because they didn't want to live by the code.
This is Karate Kid. This is just Karate
discipline,
Kid.
honor, etc.
This is just Karate Kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. No. Yeah. No, yeah. So there's this evil warrior cult, like they call them a cult called the Jukido, right? So their plot is to sneak warriors into WMAC Masters to eventually steal the Dragon Star.
Okay.
So this is the season 2 plot. So they get Tracy Sweetum is one of them. Wizard is one of them. Warlock is one of them. They have an unknown like insider already who's already in the WMAC who gets revealed at the very end of season 2 to have been Tsunami the whole time.
Oh, weird. He doesn't strike me as an inside man.
No, he doesn't.
Or a fall guy. He just seems like a dude.
The best part of this is the name Tracy Sweetum, the guy played by Michael M. Foley, who is leading the Jukido, is an anagram of Destroy WMAC.
What?
So this guy, his name, Tracy Sweet, is like a Voldemort situation. Oh, I mean, it's a he who must not be named situation.
I fucking hate it here, dude. Dude, I like how they were like, we need an anagram. The best one we got was Tracy Sweetum.
We need to crank up the storyline, the betrayal.
We need to crank too high voltage.
This is season 2 of WMAC Masters. Shit just went off the rails. I believe season 2 ends on a cliffhanger of the Jukido successfully stealing the Dragon Star, and the show got canceled. Much like everything else we talk about on this podcast, never got a conclusion. So the fate of the Dragon Star is just up in the air, man. It's in the hands of the Jukido, as far as I know.
It's the
I'm no
King's
expert.
Orb. It's the Warrior King's Orb.
But tell me that doesn't sound fucking off the rails and fun for like a season 2.
No,
like,
that sounds like I'd probably enjoy it more.
I'm gonna watch season 2. I'm gonna watch all of this.
I mean,
I honestly,
I
am.
think we did say we would
like-
we would revisit this for a season 2.
Sure. I mean, knowing that they pulled Baywatch Nights and changed formats for season 2, basically, right?
Yeah, it actually, and also now they shoot during the day in the crowds of Universal Studios Florida, which really
Just
ups
fights
the ante.
break out in the line for the Hulk roller coaster or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know for Twister.
And they just fight in the Twister ride.
That'd be kind of cool.
Have you been on the Twister?
No, when I went to
quote-unquote
Universal
ride?
Studios Florida,
Yeah.
I was young enough and also scared enough of rides that it seemed like a bit of a non-starter.
Well, you don't. It's not really a ride, if I remember correctly. You stand in a room and they simulate a hurricane
Yeah.
with a cow with a cow flying and everything.
Yeah.
and just a WMAC Masters fight just right in the middle of all of it.
I mean, they're not that far away from just doing that. Like, again, I can't really overstate the degree to which that this feels like something that you could, like a ticketed event that you could just watch.
God, I would have loved to go see a WMAC Masters show. I don't think there was a live audience. Like watching this again.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was not a real live audience.
I don't know why
in
this doesn't live
but-
on as something they just do at the park, right?
Right? That's like a stunt show or something.
Yeah,
That would
like
be awesome.
I think that has more legs than it being like television. I
The
think.
problem is they had to close down the Jaws ride, not because it kept breaking down, but because one of the WMAC Masters fell into the jaws of the
Of
big shark.
Jaws. Firefighters out here like, we need the jaws of life to save Jaws from the jaws of Jaws.
His code name, his fighting name was Jaws.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. So one thing I want to touch
Mine's
on.
gonna be Richard Dreyfuss.
Do you remember our Federation of Martial Arts episode?
How could I, Liam? Wow, I've never. Is that the first time I've gotten the names wrong?
I think so. I'm going to take it as a compliment, man. You know I love that guy.
Neil, I'm gonna take that to my grave. Damn, I can't believe I just can't believe I did that. We've
It's okay.
been doing
It's all right.
no, but like I've been doing both shows concurrently for years. Like, why am I getting it wrong now?
And it's never happened.
It's never. I don't think
I don't
so.
know, man. How long have we been doing this? I think we're close to our 2-year anniversary. What if this is it and we're just realizing it now?
Let me check. Well, you start talking.
Bro,
I'm gonna. Is it?
Episode 0 came out September 18th. This is dropping the 15th.
This is essential. This is the one.
This is the one. This is the 2-year anniversary episode.
We just fucking realized.
Holy well, we don't count milestones, you know.
We can.
I know, but we haven't really yet, except for the 1st year anniversary.
For the 2nd year anniversary, famously, we all know that's the tsunami anniversary, which is why you bought yourself that action figure.
I bought Superstar. Thank you.
Oh, was it
Hosung
Superstar?
Pack.
Sorry.
I bought the Hosung. I bought the Liu Kang action.
As we all
figure.
know, it's the Superstar anniversary, so you bought yourself Superstar. There, I fixed it.
That's the other thing. He just plays Liu Kang in WMAC Masters.
Yeah, he's just Liu Kang, and his brother is just sort of also
Liu
Kang.
I guess with him being superstar and being an actor, he's a little Johnny Cage also, but like, let's be real. Anyway, you remember the Federation of Martial Arts episode, and do you remember how they were in the early stages of trying to develop a television version of the show?
You're saying this feels like a natural extension of the Federation of Martial Arts, down to the name.
I'm saying watching this makes me wish to God that we had gotten the Mortal Kombat version of
like this, but there's blood and people getting like ripped apart and shit, and like Tom Savini is the effects guy.
And it's hosted by Queen Vorpax, the way that they were going to do with that show.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
That would have been pretty... Yeah, you know what?
And
that would have been pretty sick.
You know, JJ Perry would be there. Chris Cassamassa would be there. Maybe they get a Donnie Meropis back. I'm not sure.
All of our friends would be there.
All of our fucking friends would be there. Like, there could have been this show, but in continuity with Mortal Kombat Conquest.
If you think Conquest was a big enough hit, do you think that's likely, or are we pipe dreaming here?
Well, I mean, it was like the whole, because like as we established through Federation of Martial Arts with the inclusion of Ruby, that all of the Threshold Entertainment Mortal Kombat stuff was in one continuity. But like Paul said, Mortal Kombat was kind of on the downswing in like 99. Right, like after Annihilation, after Mortal Kombat 4 and Mythologies weren't super well received, when Conquest was running, like it just didn't have like the box office. It didn't have like the clout that it once had anymore.
Right.
And I think that's largely why they abandoned the idea to develop. Like they probably just couldn't. Like there wasn't enough interest. But I'm saying I'm fucking interested. God damn it! I would love to be in the alternate reality where that shit got made. And there was like 2 seasons, 1 season. Give me 13 episodes of.
Give me fucking 10. I don't care.
Give me an hour-long special. I'll take it. I want more.
Give me fuel. Give me fire. You get it? Okay.
Yeah. Give me a pilot. Give me the fucking pilot. And we're seeing Jimmy Cage fighting Scorpion or some shit, right? While Queen Vorpax lords over it all. Jesus Christ. Anyway, this is as close as we're gonna get, I think.
Probably.
I say check it out.
Check it out, but just like I'm just giving people the caveat that it's like maybe it's not going to make you go feral.
Probably not, but like I think like there are other people like me out there who are going to have a good time with this. There are diehard fans of this show still. I'm going to plug something now. This is not a sponsored plug. The creator doesn't know we are doing this, but I am going to push the WMAC Masters book, Quest for the Dragon Star, An Oral History of WMAC Masters by Christopher Landis at WMAC Masters book on Twitter. They are a mutual, but again, this is not sponsored content. Yeah, this person like interviewed Chris Cassamassa, interviewed the creators of the show, just tons of people, and got like a full oral history of the development of WMAC Masters. I've been reading it. It's pretty fucking fun, and I just want to plug that here.
Yeah, that does sound pretty cool. Like, I'd read that.
It's a really in-depth, cool book. So check that out. I'm going to put links to all that stuff in the episode description. And I say watch episode 1. I say watch episode 1. That's 20 minutes, right? Everyone's got 20 minutes for this.
I will say over the course of it too, prepare yourself for the fact that at a couple points when they don't really have a fight, they just sort of do a demonstration where just a guy will come out and just do some martial arts.
But that's cool too, man. Like that's fun to watch. I like that.
Yeah.
Also, we are in the market for 2 Chris Cassamassa Red Dragon WMAC Masters action figures.
Yeah, if anybody has one, oh my god.
So if anybody's got a lead on those, the boys at mkpodquest.com, Twitter at mkpodquest, you know how to get a hold of us. We need a couple of those for sure. But I don't know, Corey, do you feel like we did it? Do you feel like we talked about WMAC Masters enough?
I think we've gotten the gist of it across. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything else that you specify is just something that you'd rather have seen, right? Than had it verbally explained to you.
I think we did it.
Okay.
I had fun watching this, but
I
at the end
didn't
of the
have
day,
a terrible time. I want to make that clear, but just like, am I falling over myself?
I know you didn't, but again, like for me, it is definitely tapping into the fact that I used to watch this as a kid.
Yeah.
Right. Not all of it. Like I don't think I ever saw season 2, but I watched this as a kid. It captures that era of fighting games and all the stuff my friends and I were into.
Yeah.
So it just works for me. But watching it as an adult, like, I think it's still a fun thing to have on the background, and it's fun to see Chris Cassamassa doing his Chris Cassamassa stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure having it on, like, I would just say
Like,
don't.
Dude's a phenomenal martial art. Like, all of these people are phenomenal martial artists. Like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, maybe just don't watch it and take notes.
Yeah, I don't think it's a note-taking show. I do, you know what? Can I talk about one fun thing that they did? It was when Olympus was fighting Turbo for the Dragon Belt, or the Dragon Star, right?
Right.
And, like, Olympus got knocked out of the ring, but he grabbed
Onto a dude. Yeah, that was pretty gnarly.
Onto a dude hanging from a chain, one of the ninjas, and because he didn't technically get out of the ring, he was still, like, able to, like, climb back in. And so, like, fucking Turbo thought he had won the match, and then dude just, like, gets back in, and he's like, it's not over yet, Turbo. And then he fucking whooped his ass, and it was good.
Also, they're just trying to make him look like, they're trying to make Turbo look like Elias Codius from the Ninja Turtles movies.
It's working. He looked a lot like the Crow to me.
I just haven't seen that.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Corey,
Yeah.
what do you got going on?
I got 2 other podcasts. You can hear me talk about them here. If you want to pause the podcast right now, go to Mortal Kombat Conquest.ca. You'll see everything we got going on. But the
Sure.
2 of mine that are on there, other than this one, are they made another one where that guy Liam shows up, and also our friend Mitch, where we talk about sequels and movies and reboots and remakes and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And this week will be our Orphan First Kill episode.
Nice.
Which I have not edited yet. And also Strat 2, which is an F1 podcast I do with my friend Callum. We don't update it weekly, but episodes are periodic, and you can find all that stuff there.
Nice. We got to get our social medias on that page. Did you ever figure that out?
No. I'll have to try again.
No. But you're on Twitter at Mr. Corey Price. This show's on Twitter at MK Podquest. I'm on Twitter at Final Neil. And you can find my Alien anthology podcast, Crew Expendable, at crewexpendable.net or mortalkombatconquest.ca. Go check it out.
I have one more thing to say before the episode is over.
Yeah, now's a good time to do that.
There was an F1 race this morning, and I was thinking if any of those terms maybe would make a funny name to have for WMAC Masters, and I do think I came up with a funny one.
You got your WMAC Masters name?
Yeah, so they were racing at a track in Italy at Monza, and it's got a lot of big, long straights. And that means that slipstream is very important.
Slipstream, I like it. So we're both changing our Discord names, like right now, right?
Sure.
Both of us? Yeah. And we're leaving them that way for a while. All right. That is it for us, live from about an hour and a half away from Universal Studios. I am Neil Full Throttle Holstrom.
And I am coming to you live from approximately 22 and a half hours away from Universal Studios, Florida. I am Corey Slipstream Price.
And we'll see you next time on WMAC Casters.